Good evening, everyone, on this Godlike Saturday. It's great to see everybody coming in on the panel in the chat. We have a very special show this evening as Sideshow Collectibles has joined us. Jorge Villar, great to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us this evening. How are you? And thanks for being here.
I'm super good. I'm super happy to be here. So thank you so much for the invitation.
Sure.
I'm super thrilled to hear what you think about the new statues that we come with in the sideshow com. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's going to be great. Alan, thanks for being here. It's great to see you. I know that today's been very hectic for myself, trying to get everything together and making sure that we had everything lined up. But I'm glad we're all here, and it's great to talk statues this evening, and I'm looking forward to it. So we definitely have a few questions for you, Jorge, and also in the chat. Let me just address the chat real quick. I know Statue Kingdom has arrived. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. And then, of course, my main man, Battle Cat. People are still coming in. Thank you all for being here. And if you have a question, make sure you put it in the chat, and Jorge can maybe answer that for us. Great to see you. Yes, sir. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you very much. Man, it's again, thanks for stopping in with us. And me and Alan did have some questions for you. Maybe we'll take some from the chat as well. But let me start with one that's it's pretty personal. So, were you interested in art growing up? Because I know you are a sideshow sculpt. You sculpted some of their best pieces. So, but have you? Are you interested in art growing up, or how did that happen?
Yeah, from I have memory. I like drawing, and I drew a lot, but a lot.
Okay.
And I always like to draw Hulks
Okay.
and Spider-Mans. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
those characters.
Okay.
Well, were my first touches with the comic war were the Hulk movie
Mhm.
with I think it was 2003 if I
Mhm.
remember correctly. Well, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, and I love those movies. So I started to draw a lot and a lot.
Oh,
But
okay.
yes, I always like love that kind of art. And before start doing sculptures, try to decide from this war. Um, I love the video games and the cinematics of the video games. So
Really?
I love
Okay.
animation, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I start in this 3D path, like start studying animation because I wanted to be an animator because
Okay.
I love the Blizzard and Blur cinematics. I was in love with that. And when I was studying animation, uh, I learned about 3D modeling and start to digging in 3D modeling, like modeling with polygons, just move one point to another. Then starting to know the sculptors, and I know Martin Canale and Daniel
Mhm.
Bell,
Yep.
Franco Carlesimo,
Yep.
and was thinking, well, who are those guys? And started to search and to
Okay.
look out what was the digital sculptor because it was very new.
Sure.
So I knew those guys and was, man, this is an amazing work. And that was the beginning, like 10
Oh,
years
I
ago.
see. I
Yeah.
see. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome to see. And good evening, Mike. Thanks for being here.
I might.
Just so, but I can definitely hear in your voice and see how passionate you are when you were starting to go through these things.
Yeah.
When you talked about animation, did you um, you started researching more and more, and you started
Yeah.
seeing these other sculptors? Did you just feel that sculpting was more down the path that you wanted to do when you saw more of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, because
Okay.
for example, in animation, maybe you work in a pipeline where you have to create a character without a pose, like a T pose or an A pose, but you can like express the character's feeling in some way. So
Right.
when I start to know the digital sculpture and know how you can express yourself and express the character emotions with the anatomy and the movement of the hands and the movement of the portrait and the motions, I fell in love with that and start to know about Bernini, one amazing sculptor. Like it's mind blowing. Yeah, that was the spark.
That's all I see. I see. Well, um, uh, I'm getting excited because I'm seeing some of these sculpts that you've done, but I'm going to save those for a little later. But Alan, what did you have for Jorge? I know you had a question on deck too.
Oh man, I got so much stuff I'd like to ask him. Uh,
Okay.
let's see. I'm really curious. You've been a digital sculptor. How did you get your foot in the door with Sideshow? Did you
Mhm.
did you build up a portfolio of work and approach them, or did they like find out about you, some of the work you've been doing, and contact you, or how did that all play out?
Yeah. Well, I create a personal portfolio with a lot of personal pieces. I love to do dioramas as personal projects. So I
Okay.
started to create those dioramas. Luckily, uh, some of the guys inside Sideshow saw those pieces, and Daniel Bell presented to Sideshow my my art station and my portfolio. And
Uh,
Sideshow said, "Okay, let's try this guy." We started to do some tests, try some my work in some statues, and they like what they saw in me. So we continue. To this date, I have worked in 25 Sideshow statues. So
Oh,
wow.
wow.
and I have 4 years within Sideshow. So yeah, it's a long way, and there's a lot of statues coming up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
you're building up a big portfolio there. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and Chad, I'm highlighting your questions. Don't worry. I'll get to them as we're going through. But everybody's still coming in. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Ross, thank you for being here.
Hello,
Thank you
Chad.
all for being in Omnibus Jack. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Um, Diamond Wolf did have a question for you, and I'm going to
Mhm.
pause for him because he put his question on here. What is your most difficult sculpture you've ever made?
Oh man, I think there's a few,
Mhm.
but one of the most difficult sculptures that at the same time, if one of the my personal best, I think, is the Ghost Rider piece. I have the chance to sculpt like 90% of that piece.
Wow.
So it took a lot of work, a lot of study. Like, for
Mhm.
example, just for the fire, I spent one entire month sculpting just the fire because I wanted to bring something new to the table, something that uh, were not present in some of the Ghost Rider pieces that were already on the market. So I wanted to bring something like I don't know, feel fresh,
Sure.
to see and to comprehend in a whole picture. So yeah, that was super difficult, and at the same time, I was super grateful for that piece because it opens
Right.
a lot of doors too. Um, I also work in the Batman versus Joker diorama with
Yes.
Daniel Bell and Martin Canale. I work on
Mhm.
that base. I create all the base
Mhm.
under the direction of Martin.
Sure.
It was like super tough to create that base because it has a lot of details,
Yes.
but it was super fun because we are
Mhm.
all friends. So it was like
Oh, that's good.
super easy and super fun to create. But at
Right.
the same time, it was super challenging in terms of creating that kind of details.
Right.
So yeah, yeah, that will
That's
be
awesome. That's
my
awesome.
question.
I think it's really cool that you're friends with all of them too. Like you all kind of, I just see
Yeah,
this big round table and you're all around it, and like you're okay. We'll do this. We'll do this.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so,
luckily.
but yeah, and I mean, so George, how does it work? Okay, so sideshow director comes up to you and says, "Listen, we need a Ghost Rider statue,"
Yeah.
and do they say whatever you want to do? Do they say, "Hey,
Mhm.
give us 4 or 5 concepts"? Do they say, "Hey, I know you spent 6 weeks on this, but we just can't use it"? I mean, how does that
Mhm.
work?
Yeah, yeah. Like it depends, like piece to piece. It's
Okay,
each by each case. But for example, in the case of Ghost Rider, Matt Molling create the design that piece, and create
okay,
like the primary shapes of that piece, the block out.
Mhm.
And like the idea was like already assembled, so my job was to create the primary shapes of all the piece,
I see.
even a block out for all the base, and then all the secondary and tertiary forms, and then details and textures of all the piece. And then Daniel Bell create the switcher portrait, and of course him in direction in all the project. So in that case, it was designed for Matt Motley and the design team. But for example, in another cases, I have the chance to work in the new Cyclops piece,
Yes.
and in that case, I have the chance to create, I don't know, like 20 options for the optic beam, because that was the part that I sculpted, the optic beam.
Right.
They give me a free canvas just to draw the 20
Wow.
options, and then we started to choose the best option visually, the best option in terms of production, of course.
Wow.
So yeah, sometimes I have that kind of task, and it depends to project to project.
Right. And do you feel a lot of pressure sometimes going into some of
Uh,
those projects? Because just
yeah.
really think about it. This is like Cyclops, X-Men. This is like Ghost Rider. These are very well-known characters,
Yeah.
and Sideshow really has to nail that to make sure it does well for them.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that? I mean, do you feel that, or hey, I'm just going to do it? Like,
No,
yeah.
I feel that kind of pressure, but
Okay.
it's when I have the first contact with the idea. Like they told me, like, I don't know, if you're going to work in a Ghost Rider, and oh man, I'm super nervous. But just start to assemble up the reference, and
Okay.
trying to create a map of the task, and start to working in the piece, and
Right.
one step before another step.
I see.
The anxiety comes down, and you
Okay.
start to focus. But the first contact with any new pieces is like, oh man, I'm super anxious.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to talk about some of your work here, and go over them, but
Mhm.
there's one that really stands out to me that I tell the chat all the time is, man, I may have to get this. I don't know where it would go, but I really love it a lot. And we'll talk more about that. And chat, I'm highlighting your questions. Don't worry, I'll come back to them. So George, I remember years back, right? I was watching a stream from XM, and they were talking about new pieces coming out. And
Mhm.
this was like before COVID. It was years ago. Well, they turned the camera and they showed this statue of Red Hulk that was, I mean, it was enormous. I mean, it didn't make the final cut. They changed it and they made it to where it was a smaller, more scalable statue. But what they said was this was hand sculpted.
Yeah.
And I said, how could someone hand sculpt this? And I got to do some research and figured out that yes, that was a traditional style that they would hand sculpt
Mhm.
things in the beginning. Do you do any kind of traditional hand sculpting, or is it all digital?
Yeah. Well, I tried to do when I was studying, but I mean, it's difficult and it's dirty. It's
Yeah,
super dirty,
sure,
but it's the same knowledge that you have to do. Maybe it's more difficult to apply that kind of tools, the traditional tools,
sure.
but the knowledge you have to have in your mind is the same. So maybe it's faster, and sometimes it's easier in digital, but nothing else, because the knowledge that you have to have in your mind is the same. What I mean by this, for example, it's faster because if you have to scale the figure, you don't have to sculpt it like another time. You have just
Right.
scale the figure in the file, or if you have to like mirror one arm, you can do it with just one click. But in the traditional way, you
Oh,
can't do it. You can't fake it. Like yeah.
I
So
see. I
that
see.
is faster. Nowadays, for example, a lot of traditional artists like Martin Canale uh, came to the digital world because it's faster, and nowadays the production needs faster time.
Yeah,
So it's
I
just
understand.
like that. Yeah, it's simple like that. For example, maybe in traditional, you can have like, I don't know, 6 7 months spending one figure, and
Right.
that's a lot of time for nowadays
Yeah.
production times.
And just a side note, do you ever talk to any of your peers and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" before I submit it?
Yeah,
I,
all the time, all the
okay,
time.
okay, yeah,
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 yeah, all the
yeah.
time. Yeah,
I can definitely see that happening,
yeah,
especially when you're surrounded by great minds like that. And you're
yeah,
trying to get something together. I can definitely see that. So that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. And
Mike,
sometimes they point something like, maybe, oh, I see the head is too big, and you look again, and oh, you're right.
yeah,
Maybe just spend so much time in front of a piece that you cannot see some of those details, because your mind and your eyes are used to that piece. So
right.
sometimes you can like take a time out from that piece, or send
Hmm.
one image to your college. That is super helpful.
Right. You get a fresh set of eyes on something, and they can
Yeah.
see what you've been working on for the last 17 hours. It can give you
Exactly.
give
Yeah.
you an idea, like, you know what, I can
Yeah.
see where the discrepancy can be.
Yeah.
But Mike, did you have a question also?
Yeah. Hey, George. So I was a little late coming in. Is digital sculpting, is that mainly what you do? Is that the like? So I
Yeah.
mean, so is there like a in the design process, like, do you ever take into account what medium may be used for that sculpture, like resin versus PVC? Do you take that into account when you're actually coming up with a design?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, we like all the things we are trying to foresee all the possible problems that
Right.
we are going to have in the future. So we take in account like the materials, the base, the space. Nowadays, it's super important to have a tight space, like to tell a complete story with the most smaller space possible.
Right.
So yeah, yeah, we try to have um, those kind of details resolved in the first stage of
Yeah.
the production. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Well, that's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
Diamond Web asked, he said, who are your biggest influences?
Oh man, there's
There's
a
some
lot.
great ones out there.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know if I have to create a top five without the need of point one first and one last. It will
Right.
be Bernini. I love Bernini works.
Mhm.
He was a master, a real master.
Yeah,
It will be Daniel Bell.
it's
I love
amazing.
Daniel Bell works.
Mhm.
Sorry. I love Martin Canale too. Martin
Mhm.
is a master. He has 20 years in the industry, so he create a lot of pieces. Gio Napkel too.
Mhm.
He's like amazing. Um, oh man, it's so tough because there's a lot
Mhm.
of sculptors.
Sure.
But yeah, yeah, I love the stuff that Franco Carlesimo creates too.
Me too.
He's a close friend, so yeah, I
Mhm.
learn a lot, like just watching his statues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's done some amazing work. I've seen a
yeah,
lot of his work. A
yeah.
lot. It's a lot of good work. Alan, what question did you have? Your next question.
Well, quick one. How long have you been with Sideshow now, Jorge?
Yeah,
How many years?
I have been in Sideshow like 4 years, I think. Yeah, 4 years
Okay.
and 2 months, something
Hmm.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
It's
do you
a lot
happen
of
to
time.
remember the very, very first project that they
Yeah,
turned you loose on?
yeah. My first project was the Spider-Man, the classic Spider-Man, premium format with Daniel Bell.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, it was the perspective, the first perspective base.
I do
Yeah, I
remember
have
that.
to create that base. I mean, some people like it, some people not like it. I understand because it's a matter of taste. But for example, it was a complete line with that kind of basis, so we had to go in that way because that was the whole idea. But it was super challenge, and I never created some base like that. So yeah, it was a tough first project. And the second one was with Daniel Bell too. It was the Spider-Man Noir. I have to create the base too. So yeah, I create all the details from the scratch.
Awesome. Awesome.
Wow, that's there's having your first project, I know going into Sideshow has to be a little nerve-wracking a little bit, but but if you look at like where you started and then some of the pieces you've done now, and we're going to talk about it in a minute, but Constantine is one that I really love. So we're going to talk about that one in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I always tell myself, man, what can I put it at? Like, what did I do? And how did I get it in here? But because I've always liked that piece too.
Constantine is a work of art. I think it belongs to a museum. It's super beautiful, that piece. Yeah,
I love it. I really do. I love it. So there was what's that?
No, I was just saying we got some questions in the chat there too.
Yeah, I have them highlighted here. Yeah. Let's see. So this one's a really nice one here. What is the process of creating a sculpture? And I know you have a team that helps, but how does the whole process work?
Yeah. Okay. Usually it's like always the the same. We receive a piece from the design team, maybe like a block out or a concept art.
Okay.
And then we can go to the production phase, the sculpture phase. So sometimes we have a bigger task, and sometimes we have a smaller task. For example, in Ghost Rider, I have the chance to sculpt like almost the whole piece. For example, in the Cyclops, I have the chance to sculpt the optic beam. For example, in the Dark Nihilus piece that was sculpted by the Kucharek brothers, I have the chance to sculpt the seat lining and stuff like that. So sometimes it's a bigger task, and sometimes it's a smaller task, but it's always the same pipeline. I have to gather reference, and sometimes if I don't know the character, I have to start studying and reading comics or seeing a lot of videos to try to understand the character. We sculpt, maybe we have in one piece we have 2 sculptors, 3 sculptors, or 4 sculptors maybe. Then it goes to production, but it's always the same pipeline. It depends always for the task you receive.
Okay. This next question is kind of tough. What is your favorite piece and the one you're most proud of that you're working on, that you've worked on? I know it's hard.
Yeah. I think it will be the most challenging too. Ghost Rider and the diorama, the Batman versus Joker diorama. Yeah. Until now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was. I'm super proud of that pieces. I'm really happy of how they came out. The final result is amazing. The first time I saw Ghost Rider in person, I was in love. I don't know if it was because I sculpted, but I love it, and I felt so happy. I'm so proud. I remember that moment. Yeah, when first time I saw it, and it was my first time traveling to the USA and to the Sideshow quarters. So it was like, the whole process was
that's a big ordeal. Coming to the United States and then sculpting this particular character. I mean, that's a big event for sure for anybody. It's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great story, actually, Vanessa. But Mr. Edmondson, what did you have? Do you have another question?
Just curious. Like, since you work for Sideshow, are you? I won't say allowed, but do you have is there exclusivity to you, or do you do also freelance work for other people, or?
No, I have exclusivity with Sideshow since I started. I work exclusively with them. I think I can work to to another companies, but I choose to work exclusively with Sideshow. So
Gotcha.
yeah. From the start, um, I just go just with Sideshow.
Okay.
Okay.
Jimmy, I had a quick one if I could.
Yeah.
Jorge, do you work on site at Sideshow, or do you work remotely, or a little of both?
No, I work remotely. Just I work when I traveled to Sideshow last year. That I
Okay.
spent 2 weeks on site, but yeah, I work remotely in my house. Actually, I always live in a small space, and I moved like 2 months ago. So this is my first time having a and my personal studio. So
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I always live in smaller places. So this is the first time that I
Good.
have everything of
Well,
my
good.
own in the same
That's
place.
cool. Yeah, very nice.
That's well deserved. That's good. So he did Jack 3D character artist. He did ask, is your sculpture receive a lot of changes in the process, or once you have direction, is it all pretty straightforward?
Good question.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it depends. It depends of some pieces. Like for example, if we have everything resolved from the beginning, it's like super easy. Sometimes we have to try to see what
Sure.
is working. Sometimes we create something, we print it just to see how it's going to look, and we notice some stuff that need to be changed. So it always depends on the statue, because sometimes we can it's an super straight project, and sometimes we have to go back a lot of times, just because we have to create the most beautiful piece possible at that moment.
Okay.
Mhm.
This next question is pretty fun. So, uh, if you could do any character from any franchise, and Sideshow
Mhm.
said, "Hey, do whatever you want," what would you do?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I have a lot of like favorite characters,
Mhm.
but I think the, the the character I love the most is Hulk. I mean, Hulk and Darth
Okay.
Maul, that
Okay.
are my
Oh,
top choices. Yeah,
Okay.
I love Darth Maul, and I love
Mhm.
Hulk. I don't know, it was my favorite character when I was a kid.
Okay.
Being grown up is the favorite character too.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, I love that character. That rage, that muscularity, anatomy is amazing. With that Darth Maul, well, my first contact with Star Wars was in the theaters. I don't know, like 20, 30 years ago. I don't remember, but with
Right.
Phantom Menace, it was my first Star Wars
Okay.
movie, and I was in the theater like I was. My mind couldn't comprehend like all the Jedi's fighting, and when I saw a Sith
Cool.
coming with a double saber, it was
Yeah.
okay. This is it. This is it.
This is what you want to do. Yeah, that's awesome.
What I want.
That's really
He
cool.
became instantly my favorite Star Wars character.
Mhm.
Is,
That's awesome.
is Star Wars then your favorite franchise? If you had to pick
Mm.
one to work the characters, that would be it.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
super
Okay.
fan of Star Wars. I'm super geek. I know a lot of
Okay.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I have seen the prequels like 30 times each,
Oh,
at
Wow.
least. Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm super fan of Star Wars. So
So, Jorge, are you familiar with XM Hulk transformation? Are you familiar with that statue
yeah,
where it's got
yeah.
it's got the Hulk, but it's also got
Mhm,
Bruce Banner on transforming.
mhm.
What if you did something with Sideshow, like a new version of that
Mhm.
of the two characters, one transforming into the other? Because I've seen sculptures do that, but it'd be really cool to see it more modernized even now into the year 2025 or whatever. Put that on your list.
Yeah. Actually, I found some concepts of that idea, not the idea that XM used, but
Right.
some of the comic book artists that draw something like that. I was gathering just to my personal reference. Maybe
Mhm.
well, sometime I'm going to create a personal project of that that kind of idea. So yeah, we are super aligned with that kind of thought, because I love that kind of idea of whole transforming, and maybe
Mhm.
like all the
Awesome.
anatomy is messed up because it's the transformation itself that is changing. So yeah, I think
Sure.
if you create something like that, you have a lot of room to work with.
Sure. Man, I like to see you do that, especially because you love the character so much. There's you know what I've noticed is that when a 3D artist loves a particular character and they give them that character to do, guess what? That statue comes out amazing. It comes out amazing because there's so much love put behind what the work on that. So that'd be really cool to see that.
Mhm.
Alan, you have number next one? I think it's 8.
Well, I think we kind of figured that out. I think Star Wars
Okay.
is your favorite
Yeah.
franchise. But and looking at your now, I see you have a collection building
Yeah.
behind you.
Mhm.
The Hulk. That Hulk is that one that you personally worked on?
No, that was
It's not.
created by Daniel Bell,
Okay.
and
Okay.
actually Sideshow like give me that statue like a present. So
Oh,
well, yeah, super happy.
cool.
Like yeah, it was right
That's
at
neat.
Sideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those
So
all
you
Wow.
actually,
are those all sideshow statues behind you?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Are they all sideshow statues behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, there's all Sideshow. I have Ghost Rider, Captain America, Thor,
Yep.
Hulk,
It's all Bane
yeah,
behind you there for a second.
on the top I have the Kucherek brothers,
Oh yeah.
Darth Vader Mythos. Yeah.
nice.
That's awesome. And we did another question from the chat too.
Yeah.
We were talking about production times. How much time does sculpting phase take for a sculpt? Like, how much time do you think, depending on which one it is, I guess? But
Yeah. Well, depends on the character and the task again. But for example, for a complete character, we have like 3 months of production just in the sculptor phase. Sometimes it's a bit more, sometimes it's a bit less, but all depends of the character. For example, it's a big character or has a lot of details, or the design is complex. Maybe sometimes like 4 months is going to be like more adjusted to that character. But if it is a more smaller or easy character, for example, I have the chance to work in the Ewok statue. I think it came out last year, and it just took me like 1 month to create that character because it was a small character. It wasn't complex. And for example, for Ghost Rider, I have to spend like 3.5 months. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
that is the difference. Yeah.
right, I see.
Mhm.
So they say this isn't a week works of work. This is like months that it takes to get these pieces completed. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I did want to bring up a lot of your work from Sideshow, and this is probably going to be my favorite part because we have a lot of pieces here that you have worked on. But man, there's some great ones here. Wow, let me start. Let me start from the top here real quick. So we'll start with the Batman versus Joker,
Mhm.
and this one's already waitlisted too. But I know you worked on the base on this. And,
Yeah, I work on the base and I work in some of the props for the character. For example, for the Joker, I create
Okay.
all the cards
Mm.
and create the fish, the metallic fish from the
Okay.
right hand. Yeah, I create that too. And
Okay.
from the Batman, I create the cards too that they're like cutting the skin and the suit, and I create the fire in the cape.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
cool.
Well, and was that art direction already laid out for you, or did they say, "Hey, we need some more details on this," or how did that work? I mean, do they? I mean, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, no, the direction in that piece was mainly from Martin. Martin was like
Okay.
the main sculptor and have a lot of the input in the design of this piece. So yeah, he gave me a lot of direction. He helped me a lot with the composition of the parts of the base. It was a lot of I don't know. We are friends, so I send a file and then send me the corrections. And we work super easy because we were chatting just in WhatsApp application and stuff like that. Yeah, it was super easy and super straightforward.
Yeah.
Even if we have to change something, it was okay. You can change this, of course, no problem. So,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of thought and investigation behind that kind of piece, because we have to investigate. Okay, this piece was from what building? Okay, how it's constructed and how many layers it has. Or okay, if this part, this material broke in real life, how it will look, stuff like that. So it has a lot of thought and investigation behind each detail we put in that piece.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's.
George, I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
George, do you find yourself improvising a few times, or do you mainly stick to the art direction?
Mhm. No, for example, if I think I have a better idea, or if or something that is going to work better, I present it and
Great.
we analyze
Mhm.
between all design and production and even myself. We analyze the best idea. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes I present an idea and they told me, okay, this is not going to work because this is, like, for example, not the version of the character. And I'm like, okay, I understand.
Gotcha.
I didn't have that information. Now I got it. So but yeah, I have a lot of liberty to express my idea,
That's
what I
great.
think is going to work better. Yeah.
Good. Good.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
So they do give you a little bit of creative freedom.
Can you repeat? It cut out.
Yes. So they do give you a certain amount of creative freedom.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for example, in the Ghost Rider piece, I present a lot of my personal ideas that I like, and I think that is we're going to work in that piece. For example, in Ghost Rider, there's a vortex inside the mouth, and
Mhm.
I just like I didn't see that kind of detail in any comic or in any movie or
Mhm.
in any place. But I was trying to create something to give the feeling that the fire is coming from inside Ghost Rider. So I create that kind of vortex, and I was looking, and it was okay. This kind of cool work and present to Sideshow, and they love it. So
Cool.
we just leave it. And for example, I take reference not only from the comics, but I love the Ghost Rider movies. The first one, the second one, not so much.
Yeah.
But I love how he looks in the second one. I think visually it's amazing. And one of the things that I like the most was the burn leather effect in the second movie,
Mhm.
and I think was a masterpiece move. Just to put that kind of effects around the fire areas, like for example the head, the
Yep.
boots, the hand, and I think it looked super good. And it also gives the sensation of a raw statue, like a messy statue, just because the character is something like that. It's messy, it's a lot of smoke, fire. So we have, and like we play with that kind of details and textures uh, between pieces, because sometimes a piece need more textures and details, sometimes it doesn't. So it's just like try.
So, Jorge, when this statue was going to launch, and you were, well, actually before that, when you were sculpting this and getting it ready, did you know that there was going to be a variant of this character before, or did they tell you after it launched or whatever? Or,
Well, in this case, they tell me later. I think the idea
okay.
come out just a few months later. So yeah, I didn't have the information when this piece come out. But sometimes it happens because some piece has a lot of impact. Um, we always wait the best result, but sometimes
Sure.
that result is even better. So yeah, we have
Right.
to
Right.
to implement some
Um,
things like that.
which version do you prefer?
Oh, I love both. I think
Okay.
the first one, I think the first one it has more
Okay.
details just
Uh,
with the spikes.
okay.
But when I was assembled the first one,
Right.
it was difficult. So
I see.
I also I also love the version without the spikes.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Well, it's. I mean, this statue has an awesome light up feature. I've always loved that,
Mm.
Incredible.
and what a great job on this particular piece. And it doesn't take a huge footprint up, so I think that's definitely got it going for it, especially when you're don't have a whole lot of space. But I love this angle right here. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Very, very popular piece.
hmm That is really cool.
Mhm.
How long did
Yeah.
this take you to sculpt? How long was this
Yeah, it
process?
was 3 months and a half. It was a lot
Okay.
of time. For example, for the fire, it just 1 month, just the fire, because
Oh wow.
I just
Wow.
wanted to bring something new. For example, for the I don't know, the front part, I
Right.
wanted to create something that it was not present in any of the statues that were already present in the market.
Mhm.
So I started to read a lot of comics, and I found a lot of different artists how to draw
Oh,
fire,
okay.
Mhm.
and I was like trying to implement that 2D drawing in a
Right.
3D sculpt. And I try a lot of stuff, like I don't know, maybe 10 options, and I find out some options that it look really cool, and I started to combine and play with that.
hmm
So yeah, it was the final result, an investigation of comic book artists, and try different stuff just to approach the most visually attractive result.
Wow.
And it's a combination not just from fire. There's a lot
Right.
of melted pavement to
Right.
give the sensation that the hellfire is so hot that it's burning all the pavement around. So it's not a
Yeah.
explosion of the pavement, it's also
Right.
like melting
Sure.
just from the extreme
Yeah.
hot that the pavement
And
is suffering.
I,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you probably had to do a lot of research on the mechanical aspects of the motorcycle as well.
Yeah, and actually, when I was a kid, I like to draw a lot of this kind of motorcycles, and I
Oh,
love it. I think I drew like, I don't know, like 30 or 40, because I
okay.
love to watch a show that it was American Chopper. I don't know if you
Oh
remember.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. And
Okay.
when they were creating a bike, it was in front of the TV, like drawing the sad bike, the exact bike that they were creating. So I learned a lot about bike
Wow.
construction just watching that show, and it helped me a lot with this statue.
Wow.
Okay.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's just use this as an example. So they go to you and they say, "Hey, Jorge, we need you to do a Ghost Rider statue, and here's a concept art." Do they tell you you have a timeline to get this done? Like it has to be done by this time, or
Yeah,
is it more like, "Hey, go ahead and let us know when you're done"?
yeah.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not sure how that works.
yeah. Most of the time we have like a deadline,
Okay, you
but
do.
for example, in this piece, I needed more time, and I say, "Hey, Sideshow, I need more time. It's
Sure.
because of this and this and this." They went like, "Okay, perfect. Just take the time you need and let
Wow.
us know." Yeah,
Sure.
I never had a time lapse issue with Sideshow, and they always understand. If you are delivering maybe a daily update or per week,
I see.
and they saw that you are working on improving the piece,
Right.
they don't have any issue at all.
I see. I see. Yeah, you're just
That's
updating them as you go, and
Yeah,
as long as there's
yeah,
progression, I can definitely
yeah,
see that.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would imagine any company would have some type of deadline, but when you're working on 3D sculpted art and you want it to be the best, I mean, I have this mindset of I wouldn't want to ever rush this because this has to be
Exactly.
something very special. People are gonna, especially collectors, and how they look at these things. I mean, they're very selective right now. They're very picky right now, and when they go into select something, they really want it to be the best version of the character. So
Exactly.
I know that you take your time with that, and I know that I really appreciate that. That's a good step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for example, for the production time, 2 weeks is not a lot of time, but for the sculptor, 2 more weeks is a lot of time, and can improve in a lot of new stuff, or stuff that can use a little more work. With
Mhm.
these 2 extra weeks or 3 extra weeks, you can do magic. So it helps a lot. You have to take into account that there's a whole production behind you, so you can take,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, 3 more months. But
Yeah.
if, like, for example, 1 more week or 2 weeks, they
Sure.
don't have any issue.
Well,
So
congratulations on that Ghost Rider.
Yep.
That's a awesome piece.
Thank you.
right, no, it's good. We have a panel member. He's not with us today. I know he's with his family, but when he saw this statue was being made, he lost his mind. His name's Brian, and he ordered it day one because he loves this character so much. Um, was this a challenge to do? It's a really cool character. I love the cape effect on this character.
Yeah.
How long did this take you, and was this challenging to do?
Yeah. Well, this particular piece was all sculpted by the Kucharek brothers, so I didn't have the chance to sculpt
Oh.
the character
you did?
itself.
Oh,
But
so-
I worked seat lining in the exclusive version. I
Okay.
created the seat lining, but the statue itself was created by the Kucharek brothers. They are
Okay.
amazing. I'm a super fan of their work. For example, I love the Darth Vader piece
Okay.
that I have. These two, for example, I think the Kucharek brothers sculpt one of the most amazing piece of cloth in the collectible industry. They're amazing. So yeah, all the props to the Kucharek brothers. And
Okay.
I sculpt, that details in the exclusive version. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I say, we try a few options based on in the comics, based on the movies, based on for example, the novels have some of the description of the seat lining. So I read some novels because I go too deep for this
Right.
kind of.
That's cool.
Yeah, we try different stuff. This was the best approach we come up with visually and just for the production.
Okay.
Okay.
How long did it take you to do the lightning then?
No, I think it was just 1 week.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a fast job.
The Constantine, you had a lot more involvement with that piece.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. In that piece, I have the chance to work in the fire from the hand. I have the chance to work in the book. I have the chance to work in the cards, in the roots of all the base. I think the cigarettes. I work in the cigarettes too. There were smaller props and smaller details, but I think it helps a lot to sell the sensation. There's a lot of things going on in the base because it was a character that is sitting. So we have to tell a story and we have to tell something. It's not just a character sitting down. So there's a lot of details. I create also the flowers that are in the base. So all the storytelling in is,
Jorge, how much collaboration happens sometimes on a statue, like with different sculptors? Is it uncommon to have 3 or 4, or is it usually only about 2?
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's 2, but all depends on the figures. For example, sometimes one sculptor create all the details, or a main sculptor create all the characters, and then we have another sculptor working the portrait. A few years ago, maybe one sculptor worked the whole piece, but nowadays we are trying to separate different tasks because we think this is a more approachable way to create a statue, and it's easy to have the main sculptor working in different statue per year, because maybe I don't know, you have a sculptor working in 2 or 3 pieces per year, and if you have some assistants, you can sculpt like 5 pieces or 6 pieces per year. So
Yeah.
the production is going to be it's going to be bigger.
Wow, this is a very impressive statue. I've always loved it since day one, since I've seen it. It's just really awesome.
Yeah,
This one may have to come home.
Create a masterpiece. I don't
Yeah.
know. The first time I saw the files for the base of this piece, it was mind blowing, but mind blowing. It has so much detail that
Right.
I can imagine. I think I didn't see anything like that. Never,
Wow.
This is my first time I see something so
Really
detailed.
So you like getting involved in all those organic forms, like the fire and the roots and things of that nature.
Yeah, well, it's something that I fell in love working in the Ghost Rider, and I think
Mhm.
to this date I have working like 5 fires from different statues for
Okay.
Sideshow. So yeah, there's something, I think some things that are coming up, but I have the chance to work in a lot of this kind of effects or VFX. For example, the optic beam, the seat lining, the fire. Um, Sideshow, I think, loves the kind of details that I put in those statues. For example, in the Bane piece, I have the chance to work in all the
Mhm.
base and the wind. So yeah, I have the chance to work in more effects and details. So yeah, it's a good approach.
Right. This
Oh
is
yeah,
a Cad Bane here.
Yeah.
Bane. It's an awesome character.
It is. It's bigger than you think. Look at that. It's bigger
Yeah.
than you think.
Yeah.
I think the pistol's holding up, whatever. So wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And
Will Harbottle did an amazing job with the character. It's a character that I like a lot because I love Clone Wars, and when they have the chance to work in this piece, it was amazing because William is a master, another master at work,
mhm.
and I learned a lot just working with him, and he's super easy to work with. It
Oh,
was
it's good.
yeah, we were chatting and talking, and it was okay. I think I can put this detail, and he was, "Oh, go on, Jorge, I trust you." So it
Okay.
was,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it was
good.
super easy to work.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's got to feel good when someone tells you that. That's a really good story. Hey, go ahead, just
yeah,
do whatever. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so that's really good. But
And this statue, I have the chance to work in the all details and all the textures from all the character, and the base was created from the scratch. So I have the chance to work in a lot of stuff for this character. Well, we have to do a lot of research because we want to create something that it would give the feeling of Clone Wars, but at the same time have the feeling of the all Western movies. So it was a combination of styles, and we have to try some details, take some stuff and put some stuff. So yeah, it was super fun to work with.
wow, that's cool.
Nice.
This one's very special too. There's
Yeah.
something about it that I really love. It's got a really cool. I think it's the pose. He's holding that pistol up. You're right. It's got that Western style,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Star Wars. So it's really cool. And I know you you have to get excited when they tell you you're going to work on a Star Wars piece.
Well, my first Star Wars piece was a middle piece. It was the Yoda that was created by Matt Black. The first time I got the news that I was going to work in that piece, it was a dream come true for me because I love the character and I love the prequels. I love Star Wars, so having the chance to work in that statue, yeah, it was a dream come true. In that piece, I have to create all the details for the character, and I create all the base too.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I work in the switched portrait, the samurai style, and we were based in the idea that George Lucas have when create all this universe, that it was a combination of samurai tales, and in a more modern era. So we try to combine that kind of thoughts in that switch up portrait.
I see. This is part of the
Today, we're gonna be
the Mythos line too, and um, when you get these sculpted and they submit things, what's the process working with Disney to get this approved, or do they already have it approved
Mhm.
before you start, or did they change anything when you had everything finished, or as you're going?
Sometimes it change some parts, but
Hmm.
mostly there's maybe any change, because we send the design in the sorry, we try to have the design approved in the design stage, that it
I
is
see.
previous to the sculpture stage. So I think I didn't have any notice that the license wanted a change once
Okay.
the piece was finished. But it can happen, because we send to approval once we have finished. We send it again, but I think I don't remember a case like that. That once the statue was
Okay.
finished, we have to change something.
Right.
Uh, yeah, we try to have everything approved before starting to create something.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, this one's really cool. I never knew that. I never noticed the other portrait too, but I
Yeah,
love the effect as he's like leaping forward
yeah,
like that. There you go. Looks got that leaping look. But
yeah.
he's
It
got the
was
two
a
sabers
very
too.
dynamic piece.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I mean that brings another question, Jorge. Do you prefer dynamic or museum style sculpting? Like what do you prefer the character to be as?
Yeah. Well, when it's starting to create these statues, I was in love with more dynamic pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all about dynamic and
Hmm.
flying and moving.
Yeah.
But then I started to appreciate the the poses in a more museum statues, and
Yes.
I starting to appreciate the thought and the idea behind those pieces. So mm, nowadays it's 50-50. There are some
Sure.
statues that is going to look amazing in a museum pose,
Hmm.
and some statues that they are look amazing in a more dynamic pose. So yeah, it's 50-50 to me.
Okay. Yeah. I prefer more the museum look, but
Mhm.
um, I mean, there's so many great ones that are dynamic too. So you
Yeah,
just have to really,
yeah,
look at those things. And I'm going to bring this up here because this is a lot what we're
yeah.
talking about. So one of our panel members, we did a live unboxing of this on Godlike statues, and it was this piece is much bigger than you think it is, and it is very impressive. So. Okay, so you had the challenge of sculpting this piece, getting it through, and um, did they give you an art direction of, hey, I think it should be, in look like he's underwater, or did they tell you that, or how did the art direction
Yeah,
come?
well, I have the chance to assist Martin Canal in this one too.
Mhm.
He
Yep.
created the piece. It was also a direction, an idea that Martin was creating with the design team. But yeah,
Mhm.
from the beginning, the idea was to have Weapon X, to give the feeling that it's underwater, but
Okay.
without a glass around it, because
Mhm.
it's going to cut the illusion, and we wanted to bring that feeling in the statue, like the illusion world.
Right.
So yeah, we work in a lot of parts. I have the chance to work in all the cables, in all the bubbles,
Okay.
in the pants that we have, the details on the base, and create the switch out portrait with the
Okay.
helmet I created from the scratch. Yeah,
Wow.
I love that helmet. For example, for that helmet, I read a lot of comics, and I wanted to bring something mm, very close to the comics, but in a modern way, without feeling that it's overcharged of details. So it was a challenge to, okay, what are going to put in some place and what are going to cut. For example, if you saw the Weapon X comics, the helmet changed in all the panels. It is
Yeah.
never the same. So
Right.
yeah,
I think I remember that.
it was a challenge just to create the details. But yeah, I have a lot of fun working in this statue. The bubbles were super challenging to do because we have to give the sensation that it's underwater, it's flowing, it's not overcharged, it's not in front of the character. So it's a lot of thought behind the details that this statue has. But it came out great. Martin did an amazing job with the character and giving the feeling that he's suffering, he's in pain. Like, for
Sure.
example, the hands and the feet and the face and the body itself is expressing pain. When you saw this statue with the maybe the light up or without the light up, can have the sensation and the feeling that is underwater, suffering that kind of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. I want to go back to this portrait because
Yeah.
when I think of Weapon X, I always think of this helmet as he wore it or whatnot. You can tell, like, his teeth are like kind of grinding to the side. Like, you're right, that he's in pain from something. But I love the helmet and the sculpt on it. It reminds me of the comics so much. It really does. It's like it's spot on. It looks great.
Thanks.
Really
Thanks.
good. Yeah, great job
Yeah.
with that. Looks fantastic.
Thank you.
And you really think about this, Jorge, when people pre-ordered this statue and they went and bought this, what did everybody want? They wanted the exclusive, and the exclusive came with the portrait that you done. So that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah,
It's got to feel
Yeah.
pretty
really
good.
good.
That's
Really
awesome.
Jorge,
Go ahead.
if you don't mind, I've got an interesting question here. What do you find more difficult, Jorge? Fire or bubbles?
Oh man, I think I mastered fire, so I'm going to say bubbles.
Okay. All right.
Because I spent a lot of time sculpting fire and I understand the
Right.
mechanic behind it. But bubbles, it was a lot of work. Too.
Can imagine.
Yeah.
Wow. And this one here came up as well. Let me see here. This was did you sculpt this as well?
Yeah, all the base.
The
Create
base. Okay.
all the base for this piece. Yeah.
I'll bring this up here real quick.
Daniel Bell sculpted the character.
Oh, look at this
I-
base, man! That is cool.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
It was amazing. I think it was my first approach with a more comic base,
Mhm.
and it turned out great. It turned out great. The direction that Daniel gave me during the whole process was amazing, and I had so much fun working on this. And actually, I work on the switch up hand with the totem. I create the totem too, and I work in the pistol, the grapper. I
Okay.
create that too, and I create the belt, all the belt around the waist. I create that too. Yeah, I
Okay.
forget. I just remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure after a while you're
Yeah, after a
you
while.
have so many pieces that you're sculpting, whatever. So that's really cool. And I did see this. Oh, man, how adorable is this? I
Yeah.
did see this. I saw this come on your profile too.
Yeah.
That you ended up sculpting this, but how cool is that?
Well, this is the tattoo. I have the chance to work completely by myself from the
Right.
scratch. So it was super fun.
Yeah.
It was also a Star Wars character, and it was based in the Mac Graves drawings. So it was a challenge to adapt her style to a 3D piece because
Right.
her style is like super cute, and
Yeah.
it has a lot of life
Mhm.
in the eyes of their work. So it was a challenge to bring that kind of feeling to a 3D sculpt, but I think it turned out great. I spent a lot of time sculpting hair by hair, because all the hair you see in the statue is sculpted by hand, just strand by strand. And yeah, but it was super fun. I found that kind of details relaxing to sculpt.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
like my therapy.
Okay. All right. Wow. Um, I really like this piece. It's really cool. It's adorable. I could see this being a proximity to another statue or something. That's
Oh,
We lost
internet
Jimmy
went
there.
off. We lost Jimmy.
Speaking on another line, on another topic,
Mhm.
Jorge, the Court of the Dead,
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
a Slayer.
Yeah,
You had a hand in that as well, I believe. Yes.
yeah. I work in a lot of parts of that piece. I'm going to refresh my memory, going to my art station just to give you the correct information about that piece.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I have the chance to work in the switch out portrait, the Casa hat, all the
Okay.
details in the skin textures, all the details in the armor. I had the chance to work to create all the right arm with all the details around the arms. I have the chance to work in the katana. I have the chance to work in the tanto sword. I have the chance to work in the all the details in the bag.
Holy
And
cow!
yeah, I create a lot of modification in the base, the dragon, the hands. Yeah, I put a lot of time in that piece. But
Wow, this is a beautiful piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's super fun to me because I love all the samurai lore and all the samurai stuff related. So having the chance to work in something like that, even if it's a more like distortion vision of the samurai stuff, is more of a court of death piece. At the same time, we base a lot of the stuff we create and things that we already saw, like the katana, like the tanto sword, like the casa hat. So we trying to bring those real life artifacts in this
Hmm.
kind of world. So we transform, we put a lot of details, a lot of shapes that they were crossing each other. So yeah, it was super fun to create.
Wow.
Oh, these hands coming out. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Did you work on that effect on
yeah,
the?
exactly. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
I don't think I
Mm.
used to be a big Court of the Dead collector, and I don't recall there ever being a light up feature until this one.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know if it's another one.
yeah. I'm a huge Court of the Dead fan as well.
Mhm.
I hope they keep this line going with some new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if you answered this already, because I popped out accidentally, but on the art direction for this, did they have it ready for you, or did you know what you wanted to do? Did they give you the freedom for that?
Yeah, well, in this case, that give me like a direction or a sense that what we are looking for,
Okay.
and I say, okay, I'm going to start searching reference. Luckily for me, I have all the reference that I needed because I love all the samurais
Oh,
related stuff. So it was super fun, and I bring a lot of my ideas into the project.
no.
Yeah, luckily they were approved because our vision were super aligned in this project. So yeah, yeah, I
Wow.
appreciate that kind of liberty they gave me.
And sometimes when, and I'm just guessing, like before you sit down and, put this into a digital sculpt, do you kind of sculpt it or just draw it out with a piece of paper and a pencil and kind of have
Mhm.
an idea before you start that, or?
Not nowadays. I
Mhm.
don't draw a lot, so
Okay.
all the things I do is just in 3D, and I
Okay.
create like maybe a rough blackout in 3D. It's like
Okay. I see.
a quick drawing just in
Sure.
3D to give the feeling of the space, the volumes, and the color, and
Right.
it helps me a lot. It's faster too, so
Okay.
yeah, all the things I created already in 3D.
Hmm.
Okay. Wow. Um, yeah, that's some good insight, because I wasn't aware how you do
Yeah.
that. But there was a question too from Adi here. And look, some of these questions you may not be able to answer. Okay, so
Yeah.
and we're okay with that. is Sideshow planning on doing Alien versus or Predator? Or do you know anything about that, or are you planning on doing that?
Well, I can't reveal any other session
Okay.
plans,
Okay, yeah.
but I would love to work in one of those creatures because I'm a super
Hmm.
big fan of those two. I was
Right.
super excited with this like year the roster that they are creating for Alien and Predator with the movies like Killer of Killers and Badlands. I'm super
Yes.
excited about Badlands, and I love Killer of Killers. So
Hmm.
yeah, I love. I think with the Alien franchise, they're doing some very amazing stuff lately.
Hmm.
So yeah, I love those characters. If I have the
Hmm.
chance to work in one of those,
Right.
yeah, I will love it. And actually, sometimes I do my own streams, just like creating something, a
Oh,
blog out, yeah, a quick blog out, something like that.
okay.
In one of my streams, I create a predator bust just to have fun with the community because I love that character. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so if you want to do that on our show, you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
If you would like to come on and do that, we would love to see that. I mean, that's
Yeah, I
amazing.
will love it. I will love
But wow,
it.
that's awesome.
Um,
Go ahead.
oh, you bring up the Cyclops.
Yes, that's next. Yeah, I was doing that next. Yeah, let me bring that up here real quick. And this is, man. So when this was shown, the community was just in awe of this. So that was really cool to see everybody come together and like, man, this is just amazing. Let's see, here we go. Yeah, let me bring this up. Yeah, that one's gonna do this. Yeah, this is a great piece, and I know that you worked on that visor and had it all set up. Of course, it's not coming up.
Yeah, I was super happy of how it came out that statue because I think the paint, the light up feature, and even that small details that they have is a super dynamic piece, and I don't know, it have a whole history. So yeah, I'm super happy that the final result. Andre Melo was the main sculptor of that piece. I
Okay.
was in charge of the optic beam, all the failure of the optic beam. I think Alfred Paredes and Daniel Bell also have their touches in the sculptor face. And then Anthony Mestas, Bernardo Esquivel were in charge of the paint. And I don't remember exactly who were in the design stage, but I'm going to give you guys that information soon.
Okay. I'm having trouble bringing this up here real quick.
Yeah, Jorge, the beam is it have a structural purpose as far
Yeah,
as engineering wise to hold up or support anything with the statue itself?
yeah. I think it doesn't have like a structural purpose. It's just to create that kind of effect, but I think it will help a lot to support some of the weights. However, the main weight is supported in the
Yeah.
leg. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I really love. I mean, I've seen the piece. I
Yeah.
love how the beam like kind of melts
Yeah.
its way from point A to point B. It leaves a trail of molten metal.
Yeah.
That were you involved in that, creating that look on the base with that beam?
Yeah, well, the molten metal part was created by Andre Melo, so it was a combination
Oh,
ideas. I
yeah.
was mainly creating the blast itself.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a combination of size in that piece.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, it really worked. It really worked out well.
Yeah.
It's amazing looking. How long? How much time do you? I mean, you said you came up with like 20 or something different variations of the
Yeah.
beam.
Hmm.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I have to try a lot of stuff because, uh, as I say a few times, I love all the comic books, so I started to search a lot of comic book reference. A lot of the design stuff that I was seeing in the comics, try to create that kind of effect in 3D was super tough and super challenging. There were some weird and big ones that I tried, but in production, it will be super difficult to apply something like that. So I think this is the best visually, and also it will be help a lot in production terms.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay.
I know that Sideshow has done a lot of Cyclops pieces over the years,
Sure.
and I'm not even an X-Men collector,
Right.
but I think this is the best Cyclops that I've seen Sideshow produce to date.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
this is the one.
Yeah. For example, some of the comments I saw were asking about what it lacks of details in some areas, like for example the body. The answer to that is, like I said, you guys, for example, in some statues we need more details or textures, and in some statues we don't need something like that, because we want to evoke different things. In this piece we want to evoke the animated series. In the animated series,
Yep.
what the first thing you saw, the forms of the character, the body, the anatomy, and the colors. That is the two main things that we want to evoke in this piece.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of talks about what I was going to ask you before.
Yeah.
Like, Jorge, how much do you actually pay attention to social media or critique when it comes to some of your design process, or even after the fact? Somebody criticizes something you've done or praised it. I mean, how does that affect you?
Yeah. Well, I always listen.
Okay.
I try to be present in a lot of the and a lot of trainings. I follow a lot of collectors that create content and create reviews, give us their critiques, because I think it helps a lot, and I always take that into account. I can't apply everything the community say, because it will be impossible.
Yeah, of course.
But I try to take the best thoughts and the things that are going to work in future statues and apply them, because I think one of the most important things we can do as company and as sculptors like myself is to listen what the community needs or want. So I try to apply those knowledge when I have the time, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Mike. And there you go. If the community is wondering if the 3D sculptors are listening to feedback from the community, yes, they are. So that's awesome to hear that. It's really cool that you take that under advisement. It's really cool.
Yeah.
This is such a great piece. Alan, I think you're right. This is definitely Sideshow's best Cyclops, hands down. It really is.
Jorge, I don't know how difficult it was to get those rocks to suspend in midair like that, but it's
It was super difficult. We have to do magic.
Yeah, you have to imagine that part, whatever. That's going to be a really big sell for Sideshow. I know they're going to do really well with it. I did want to ask you this question too, is that what can collectors expect from you, Jorge? Maybe this year, and then in 2026, do you have plans that now? Maybe some things you can't talk about, so that's okay. But can they expect new things from you in the next from this year, the next year?
I think the thing I can say is you can expect a lot of comic characters, and a lot of Star Wars stuff. So I love Star Wars, so it's going to be a lot of love behind those pieces. So you can wait. Just two things. I think it's a big
it's a big catalog. It could be anything. Who knows what it is? Well, I'll tell you what, Jorge, you can just tell me it's all right.
Just tell us right now. No, yeah.
Yeah, well, so I mean, I know you talk a lot about that. Some of your peers that these are, master sculptors that you've learned from, you've talked to, take advice. But I have to say that some of these pieces that you have bought to the community are true pieces of art, and you have a lot to be proud of. Not to mention, I think you're falling into that category of next level sculpting, especially with that Weapon X. I thought it was just phenomenal. And just how it really has a underwater feel, and you add those bubbles to it, and the bases you did with that Batman piece, and also the Star Wars piece too. You have a lot to be proud of. You really do, and I look forward to seeing what you'll be doing next. I know
Thank
that
you,
can
thank
go
you,
too.
thank you. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
super happy to work on those pieces. I'm super thrilled and excited about the futures of the things that are going to be announced. Like I said before, I have a lot of different tasks. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
a smaller task, sometimes it's a much bigger task. So
Right.
yeah, I'm super excited
Yeah.
to bring those things to the
Awesome.
table. Always I'm trying to create something new, something fresh.
Hmm.
It's super important to me because I think there's a lot of masterpieces already created, but
Yes.
my vision, like a sculptor, I always trying to bring something new. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it doesn't,
Yeah.
but yeah, I always try to have the happiness of the collector like that, my first priority, So
Right.
yeah.
And Jorge, if you think about the art community, there's Prime One, there's Sideshow, there's XM Studios, there's Supercraft, there's a ton of different companies, out there producing
Yeah,
amazing pieces. Um, when Sideshow called you, was that like, man, this is exactly where I wanted to be at? I cannot
exactly.
believe it, or did it? I mean, you tell me. Like,
No, it was exactly like that. I
yeah,
mean, Sideshow was my main goal at that
oh
moment.
yeah,
It was
see that,
my dream
Yeah.
actually. I think when I start to creating sculptures, maybe
right?
like I don't know 7 8 years ago, I started looking like for these big companies
Hmm.
because I didn't know. So I started to learn about them and I started to search about their job, and I made a list about these companies that I wanted to work with, and I put in the first plate Sideshow Collectibles because I love their vision, what they bring to the table, the artists that they were working with. Um, like I think every day I was looking that list and seeing Sideshow Collectibles at first, and I was thinking,
Okay.
okay, I'm going to be there someday,
Hmm.
maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, I don't know, maybe someday. And it was my motivation to keep continuing every day, continue to improving myself.
Right.
The opportunity came out much sooner than expected,
Wow, that's good.
and I was super
That's
happy about
awesome.
it. Yeah,
Wow,
Well,
that's amazing.
I think they're very fortunate to have you on their team.
Sure.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah. It's definitely a very competitive, with all the companies, developing different characters. And I think every one of these companies knows is that right now the market, someone's spending money on statues. Not everybody, and we all, as a panel, we talk about this all the time. Is not everybody can afford
Yeah,
to have 20 statues a year. They may just get one, and the one may come from this company or this company. They have to choose which company they're going to go with or what character. But Sideshow's always been a company that has not only they've been affordable, they've made great statues. And I think Alan's right. I think they're very fortunate to have you and the team that they do have. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
thank you so
Yeah.
much, thank you
Um,
so much.
and Jorge, I wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
thank you
Can you
personally.
give me 1 minute just to
Sure.
go to the bathroom? Just
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Go right ahead.
thank you, thank
Yeah.
you.
Go right ahead. Yeah. So, but yeah, I really appreciate Jorge coming on with us and taking time with us. But Alan, he's done some great pieces. I mean, in the
yeah.
community, and like, it's great to see all these pieces and him talk about them too, right? Like, and what he had to go through, and
The thing, we always talk about the big names, like Daniel
right,
Bell,
sure,
and so forth, Martine Canali.
right,
But people like Jorge, they're there and they're contributing all of this talent
sure,
to some of these pieces. And I got to tell you, probably, and I go back to this, bubbles and fire, some of those organic
right.
shapes are not easy. Not
No,
easy.
and did you notice that on the bubbles of XM, like on the Weapon X, not XM, on Weapon X, that the bubbles as they're trickling up, they're very tiny,
Yeah.
and it kind of gives that effect as it's kind of starting to accumulate as they go up and get bigger. So that was a real, and as they're feeding down below through maybe small pockets of air, I mean, you really have to, put some time and effort and really know, how to make sure this is done properly. And the more I think about it, the more I realize is that, man, yeah, it took a lot of time to get all that correct. So it's good. Yeah, it's really awesome to see that.
Can't even imagine how many different drafts that you would go
Right.
through. Do it one way, and I'm like, nah, that doesn't come off right. Do it another way, nah, it still doesn't look natural.
Right.
To get organic forms to where they look right.
Well, I mean,
Right.
you heard him say, it took 20 times or he had 20 different variations of the Cyclops beam. So,
Of the optic beam.
yeah. So,
Right.
there's just no telling how long it takes.
And then I had noticed that there's like rocks embedded or
Mhm.
like broken off on that optic beam.
Right.
Well, who would think to do that?
Exactly. Like you.
And it's all those touches
Right.
that take the piece from this level to that level.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always think a really nice base is important because if it's not done properly, and I've seen other bases in the past that I've just been like, man,
Yeah.
you spent all this time on this beautiful statue,
Yeah.
but when it came to the base,
Yeah.
the rocks don't look very good. It looks like it's a bunch of plastic piled up on top of each other. It doesn't look proper. So
Especially with dynamic pieces. Dynamic pieces, the base is really crucial. I think.
Yeah.
it is.
And if you take away the bubbles on that Weapon X,
Oh,
the whole effect is gone.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't look nearly the same.
The illusion that it's in a liquid underwater, it's
Right.
totally gone. So you gotta get those bubbles. I mean, it may not seem like a lot, but I'll bet you how many drafts, Jorge, did you go through before you got the bubbles to where, okay, now I'm happy with the way the bubbles look.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know, maybe five tries, 5 different versions. It was a combination. It was a lot of thought behind that kind of bubbles. Yeah, and we tried the different stuff. It was a combination of styles with Martin that he helped me a lot with the bubbles.
Right.
Yeah, but we try a lot of stuff just to get it right because I think it was super important, and it also occupied a lot of the base space bubbles. So we wanted to get it right because it was very important.
Well, I think you nailed it.
I think so
Thank you.
too. I think so
Thank you.
too. And
Thank you.
Jorge, when you work on a project, is it just one at a time, or do you go bounce back and forth between this and this, or
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Well, sometimes I'm working in 4 projects at the same time. Sometimes I'm working just in one
Oh my
for
God.
a complete month. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm jumping between projects. I don't know. For
Oh my
example,
God.
I spend half day working in some project, and then I spend half a day working another, and the next 2 days I'm working in another different project and stuff like that. But I think working in that different project at the same time, I love it because it helps me to relax my eyes from one particular project, and when I grab it again, I see it with fresh eyes, and it's more helpful. Yeah, it's more helpful.
I can definitely see that. I mean, you're staring at the same screen, the same images over and over again. You're trying to, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
My work laptop.
You have to let it go just for a week.
Right. No, I can definitely see that. But
Yeah.
Jorge, all of the pieces that you've worked on over the years, do you have those pieces in your collection?
No. I just have the diorama, the Batman versus Joker diorama, and the Ghost Rider piece, because it's a very small space that I have to to put all the
Sure.
statues. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's not going to
Right.
be super heavy to
Does
put
Sideshow
all-
offer to give you the statue every time you do a piece? Do they like?
Yeah, well, for example, for Ghost Rider, they give me a free copy. They also give me the whole Gladiator, even that I don't work in that piece. They give me a free copy.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and for the nowadays pieces, we have a discount, an employee discount to buy those
Yeah,
pieces.
you should get a free statue every time you have anything to do with it.
I agree. With that.
If you do one little flame on the statue, you should get
Yeah, free statue.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
And you got to be careful, Jorge, because once you get one piece, another piece, another piece, you're like, man, I really want this one too. Like, and then
Well,
that's how it starts.
Yeah, it starts. One thing that also crossed my mind was, well, I buy all these pieces like the Thor and the like, for example, the Batman from Canale.
Right.
The boxes are huge, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
have to where I put all my boxes.
Right. I've gotten boxes before that go up to my, like, right here on me. They're standing up and trying to get them all in the house and maneuver and get everything together. Yeah. It's just not it's not the funnest thing. But you're right. These boxes are huge.
Okay. Do you save your boxes?
Yeah, I save my boxes.
You save your
Good
box.
man.
Okay, good man.
Good man.
Good man.
Of everything. If I buy something for my computer or something like that, I always like, okay, I cannot like give away my box.
Yeah, I mean, I have storage units full of boxes, so I know what you do. So, but Jorge, I don't want to take up too much of your time. We've been on for an hour and 32, but listen, first of all, I want to thank you so very much for joining us and spending time with the community, answering every question we had. We wish you only success, but I also want to invite you back. The door's always open for you to come and share projects. Come hang out with us if you have time. We would love to have you anytime.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super happy for your kind words. Being right here with those questions, it was amazing. I was super thrilled and a little bit anxious and nervous about this interview. But it was super fun. It was I was mind blowing because you guys, you rock. So thank you so much for the invitation and the treatment you give me. Of course, I'm going to come back. And one thing that I want to highlight is the importance of this podcast for me, because I came from a small village here in Argentina. Sometimes this kind of podcast or working for Sideshow, it was a dream, a very far dream, and living this kind of things daily is a dream come true for me. So I really appreciate your support. A small name trying to create my path in the collectible industry. So it's very important for me that you give me the space just to communicate or talk about some stuff with you and the community. So thank you so much. It's super important for me, and I feel super comfortable being here. So
That's
definitely,
awesome. Yes, absolutely. The door is always open for you, Jorge, to come in and talk about new projects. Even just come hang out with us and talk about Sideshow, the community. Even if you just want feedback, we'd love to have you anytime.
Awesome.
Really appreciate that very much.
To come back, I feel super comfortable right here, and you guys were amazing. Your questions were like top notch. So
good.
Appreciate that. Yeah. I'm sorry for English. Sometimes I try to translate in my head. It's difficult because I'm switching between two languages at the same time.
Yeah,
it's a mess up. So thank you for
great. Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Jorge for being on with us, and Sideshow Collectibles. Tune in to this Sunday as we have Sunday Hangout as we end the weekend and recap. I will see you this Sunday and in Godlike Statues. Until then, stay Godlike. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jorge.
Thank you. Thanks to you.